Paolo Nutini, Scottish singer-songwriter, is a genius and more people should know who he is, at least on the American scene. We're going to be diving into how he disappeared from the music scene for 8 years after a decade of international acclaim and then returned like aged wine with a legendary album in 2022. This is a series I'll be doing where I take a current band and musician that I think is vastly underrated or underappreciated and throw them into the limelight. Last time I covered Jack Wight, who I was able to see in concert. Nutini usually plays not anywhere near me, and though I'd love to see him, I will not be able to supplement this video with awesome concert footage that I took myself. Instead, I'll be ripping it off the internet. Anyways, Nutini began his journey as a songwriter after moving to London as a 17-year-old in the early 2000s. He was signed to a record company not long after his 18th birthday, his first album, These Streets, reaching UK album charts at number 3. You might be asking, who is this guy I never heard of you keep talking about, and why was he signed to a record label at 18 years old? And how was he able to open for Amy Winehouse and the Rolling Stones, respectively, without a long time in the spotlight? Well, when you hear his voice, you'll understand. This is Paolo Nutini at 19.
But I'm no wiser than the fool that I was before. I just want you closer. Is that alright? Baby, let's get closer tonight. Request and just let me hold you. Don't shrug your shoulders. Lay down beside me and show I can accept that we're going nowhere. But one last time, let's go there. Ooh, lay down this.
You might be getting America's Got Talent vibes here, but this is just the beginning of his career. Keep in mind he looks very young here, but his voice is immediately powerful. His Scottish accent is famous and characterizes much of his work as being instantly recognizable to those who know him. I knew about Paolo Nutini from a young age. I don't remember exactly when, but his debut album, These Streets, is a legendary listen if you have the time. His soulful voice carries with the catchy tunes to new wonders with the ability to convey genuinity. His lyrics are effective and the music isn't something that will change your life, but it's more than enjoyable to listen to. Even if These Streets isn't Nutini's best work, for a 19 to 20-year-old, his talent is immense. The album was also certified 6 times platinum, according to Wikipedia, by the British phonographic industry for domestic shipments of excess of 1.8 million copies, plus 2 million in Europe by 2011. The real song I want to talk about and that has the most impact on me out of all Paolo Nutini's career is Coming Up Easy, a song that has been described by Nutini himself as depicting struggles with marijuana, but it can be listened to from other perspectives. This is off of 2009's Sunny Side Up, Nutini's second studio release. The singer explained on his website, quote, "It's about my own conflict that I had with marijuana, but you can hear it as a song about relationships compromising, having to deal with someone else's emotions. It's about bad habits and breaking up, but I want to keep it positive." The music video depicts this by a man in a bunny suit, which drags Nutini into unhealthy behavior that displays a semblance of addiction.
The way it seems to go, 'cause now my best friend, my partner in crime, I'm afraid it looks like we're gonna have to go our separate ways. You see, the thing is, I love you, but you see, I resent you all the same. And all my other friends, they're just saying you're slowing me down.
Because now my best friend, my partner in crime, I'm afraid it looks like we're going to have to go our separate ways. That's the dilemma. Whether it be an unhealthy relationship, addiction is something, or a bad habit needs to be broken, it reels him back in with, "Oh, but I should have known you," turn to me and say,
"Oh, but I should have known," you turn to me and say, "Before you throw too much of me away, don't you remember seeing the sun coming up easy while the rain came tumbling down?"
Before you throw too much of me away, don't you remember seeing the sun coming up easy while the rain came tumbling down? To me, this seems the coming up easy part of it means taking the easy way out again and succumbing to the same old unhealthy patterns. This is something many of us can relate to. At the end of the song, Nutini wrestles with himself with the poetic line, "It wasn't love I was created, and love is how I hope I die." And he carries this line to a giant crescendo where that line, full of love, hope, ambition, and fight against this unhealthy habit, is contrasted to the sun coming up easy, the yin and yang confronting each other, and when the song fizzles out, leaving the audience to interpret who won the battle of good or evil. Was he able to push the bad habit or person or pattern away, or did he watch the sun, quote, come up easy again? The real masterpiece, however, off of a Sunny Side Up album, though, is Candy, his most popular song. My favorite performance of it is from the 2015 during the Isle of Wight festival, in which it turns into a massive rock show at the end from the beginning, which is a delicate, soft beginning. It sort of sneaks up on you in a genius way. I'll show snippets of it, but you really have to watch the full 6-minute performance, which I'll put in the description below, to understand how fucking cool it is.
Plays out all the same, and although I'm left defeated, it gets held against my name. I know you've got plenty to offer me, baby, but I guess I've taken quite enough. Well, I'm some stain there on your bedsheet. You're my diamond in the rough, but darling, I'm bathed your skin. And the haters think I'll be waiting and waiting, waiting and waiting, waiting and waiting, waiting and
Okay, now here's where things get interesting. Now Nutini releases Caustic Love, his third studio album, in 2014, and goes on an extensive tour to promote it. He's got 2 albums that went to #1 and a loyal famous following of many. Then he suddenly disappears into the limelight. He disappears for 8 years. Now, to do what, you might ask? He went backpacking in Central America, he ate poison giant monkey frog hallucinatory drugs, and he found a retreat in a mountain in Spain to record and write his magnum opus, 2022's Last Night in the Bittersweet, which comprises music, to my knowledge, of what he wrote over such a long time. What? And what kind of artist drops what they're doing after being famous, super famous, just roam around and forget everything for that amount of time? What it certainly did was mature Paolo Nutini, and it changed everything. His music now doesn't resemble anything he did before, and he's now 38 years old, a long way off from that 19-year-old singing Last Request. He achieved a clean slate by taking time off. According to a news source, Nutini waxes nostalgic about the making of a new album, some of which took place in a ramshackle studio up in a mountain in Spain. It's an hour outside Valencia, perched outside atop these orange groves owned by this amazing Norwegian guy. There was lots of rooms, and he's always knocking a wall down and building another bedroom. The studio isn't perfect, but it's in a perfect setting. You go there and the pressure's off. There's always some retreat going on, Nutini continues. So you come out after a day in the studio, and you're sharing the swimming pool with a bunch of hikers, talking and singing, having a few glasses of wine, and then it's like, so what are you doing in there? Is that what you do then? And then eventually, it's you. He literally returned from his exile like a renewal, a rebirth of everything. It's refreshing to hear him sing. You can just tell how he's grown as a person through that personal journey that he took. From a seeming young partygoer to a disciplined, well-rounded adult, this is him singing Through the Echoes, one of the new songs off of Last Night in the Bittersweet, which critics say is his best album yet, in both 16 tracks.
be like to die. She asked me why. Always smile when I feel like I'm gonna cry. She asked me why. Over the cliff and phantom sands, she's always offering me her hand, and I hear her coming through the echoes, through the echoes.
Overall, I think Paolo Nutini is vastly underrated. As a Scottish singer who was out of stardom for a long time, many Americans would scrunch up their face in confusion at mention of the name. You don't hear this stuff on the radio, and I'd highly encourage anyone who made it this far into the video to check out his music. If you think what I've said was interested, or what you've heard and it was interesting in any capacity, he may not be up there with the greats, but he certainly is talented, and I think we can all enjoy Paolo Nutini as one of the treasures of the music world. This is me, signing off. As for next time on appreciation post of someone that I think is really cool and they're a musician, it's probably going to be Rat Boys. Stay tuned.